Go.
Streaming from South Africa to the world. This is the Stonks Go Moon podcast. What just happened? We break it down so you don't have to.
Welcome everyone to the Stonks Go Moon podcast. My guest today, Claudio Bedino, Head of Consumer Growth Europe for Gemini. Welcome to the pod.
Hi, Rocco. Glad to be here.
Claudio, first up, congratulations on your appointment with Gemini. 1 month in, how's it been? How are the twins treating you?
They're treating well. Super exciting to join Gemini, especially in this moment. So I think that's so what's happened during the last few days, it seems like that I made the right decision.
We'll get more into that. What sort of motivated your decision to move from N26? For those that might not know, out of the Europe, those listening in the Americas, N26 is a massive new bank there in Europe. And you chose to, and you were the GM, right?
Yeah, I was GM for Italy and Southeast Europe. And so, yeah.
And then you decided to make this move to Gemini. What sort of motivated that move for you?
Yeah, so let me say, when I talked to my wife, it was like, we are talking for probably 10 minutes about how much this can be a bet or not. But in the end, it was like, it was like, no, it was all about, timing and opportunity in some way.
Okay.
So, and again, seeing what's happening these days, it seems that I made a pretty good decision. But jokes apart, N26 was really an amazing experience for me where I learned a lot. But at one point I was hungry for something even more challenging because in the end, I was the GM for Italy and Southeast was was one of the core market for N26, but in the end we struggled a lot with some restriction from regulator. I didn't, experience the kind of growth that I like to see. And so crypto is that next big growth area, especially now with MiCA regulation bringing, clarity and consistency to the markets across Europe. And to be honest, I love Gemini's approach. When they reached me, was like, okay, let me dive into Gemini's that I knew before, but was like, just as a user and a watcher. And I really appreciate that approach, that it's focused on doing things right, not just fast. It's like pretty aligned with the background that I have that, especially in the last few years with N26 was like a very regulated environment. Probably now is like a good match with my background and what I value most, about also growing here in Gemini is like, making sure that we create some real values, not just hype, that it's probably what we experience in some way in the past years. And I think that joining Gemini now is the right move. There's a lot of potential here, to be honest. It's not just about, MiCA. It's also about,
what exactly is...
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Sorry to interrupt you, but what you've mentioned MiCA twice. And what is MiCA, and does it make your role easier or does it make it difficult?
In some way, I think easier because it's a matter of supporting us to build trust in the long term instead of being in a wild environment, and that is probably more exciting in some way when a person like me that have this responsibility to drive growth. It can be probably easier in a wild environment. But I think that now is like a more mature environment. It's like crypto is not just a few years that is in here. It's like more than 10. And we are in a phase where we have to conquer different kind of customer, and MiCA can support us on that. So I really think that there's a lot of potential. So I think that, and we also highlighted that with some especially with our report State of Crypto that you probably see out there.
Yes.
Show that it's not just about MiCA that can help us to in some way convince other people to join crypto, but it's also education. And probably that's the report showed that probably, if I remember well, it's just 2 in 10 people feel they really understand crypto. There's a huge opportunity here to make the difference, in terms of providing education, right platform, and MiCA will support us to do that in the right way.
You come from an entrepreneurial background, all right?
Yeah, exactly. For mostly 20 years.
Well, once an entrepreneur, always entrepreneur. You don't have to find a startup to be an entrepreneur, but that entrepreneurial mindset is key for growth, and it's obviously something that you've carried with you now into Gemini. So, I was reading up on you in terms of your experience at Oval Money, and you guys had a really community-driven approach to financial empowerment, and
yeah.
I sort of wanted to find out, is it influencing your vision for consumer growth at Gemini at all?
Yeah, definitely. I think that being an entrepreneur before before join 26 as a GM was in some way obsessed by customer, and it's a kind of different approach. Instead of just being part of the machine, it's understanding, always being in front of the customer and trying to hear from the customer. At the Oval, I learned a lot. That when you want to see real growth happen, you have to empower your users in some way. And I think that when your customer feel educated, supported, and in control, that's happened. That's what probably what I want to bring to Gemini. Is not just about offering access to crypto. It's about giving people the confidence to understand and navigate this new financial landscape. And I experienced that in the past with Oval, but also in N26 in a very heavily regulated environment. And I can translate that probably now, and this is the right moment to do that in Gemini. So we are here in Gemini. We don't believe that we are just a crypto exchange. It's like we say that we are a platform for financial freedom, and then that means having a big responsibility to educate and empower our customers. It's not just about giving the knowledge. It's about giving the knowledge to the customer to navigate what's for many are just a very wild world. And so I think that in some way crypto can be intimidating, and we need to change that definitely. That's why I love to what we're doing here. It's like we are before already I joined. The company started this project that is called Cryptopedia. It's like in some way, something to give people the tools to learn from the basics to advanced topics, and again, it's all about building trust.
In what form is that Cryptopedia? What is it? Videos?
Cryptopedia, it's a section of our website where we provided information about, like the name tell, is like providing information about every aspect of the crypto, from what the specific word meaning to how it works, the blockchain or stuff like that. I think it's really important to provide this kind of information, remove barriers between people that doesn't understand how it works, and we have to do that in a very simple way. It's like providing this kind of tools. Probably a few years ago was like more a geek approach, building community that are very close to people that want to be involved in a very geek way. It's like on Discord and on having chat with people that are so addicted. Now we have to move forward in some way. We have to start from that, because I think that all the community that was built and stay and last now into the ecosystem is the foundation for what's next. But in the end, we have to be conscious and realize that we have to move forward and to conquer different kind of potential customer. And
you are so correct. You absolutely hit the nail on the head, because there's this conversation that I keep having is like everyone is fighting for the same user pool of crypto customers, right? And to really go and grow the base, you need to go and talk and educate those people who are cautious about crypto, who want to learn, but they hear these stories of pump and dump and meme coins and people losing a lot of money and etc. And they are cautious. And I think winning the hearts and minds of those people is super important.
Yeah, I think that the key here is to meet people where they are. We can't expect, everyone to jump into the deep of crypto right away. It's like it can be possible. So instead of, we need to create probably an easy on ramps and focus on use case that resonate with the everyday life. It's like, and I think that most of the company now struggle to find that. It's like to find a way to explain that there is a lot of, not just a lot of potential, more probably in the last few years, I as a watcher, I experienced that. The whole storytelling was more like on potential than on real case that's fit on everyday life. So yeah, for sure, education is crucial. As I mentioned before, also our State of Crypto report showed the lack of knowledge, and it's still a major barrier to entry, but also regulation. So again, to introduce crypto to a wider audience, probably we need to really simplify and demystify the way we are communicating. A lot of people are still cautious because they don't feel they understand enough, or also because of the regulation is unclear, because in the past it was not clear, the regulation, but also the tax part was and is in some way not clear. I can mention that because I'm living in Italy, so it's like there's a mess when you have to to declare your taxes, and now we have also this conversation around because the government want to raise the taxes, and so it's something that we have to address in a very proper way. MiCA for sure. And again, I don't want to mention MiCA again, but it is helping in to have clarity. But the next step is finding a way to educate the market in a different way that we are used to doing in the past.
Amazing, and I look forward to watching that journey from the sidelines myself. Claudio, thank you so much for joining me today.
The company already started. The company already started to do that. It's like you saw that we started just a few days ago with this amazing new marketing campaign.
Yeah, I saw. Awesome graphics, awesome story. I loved it.
It's like projecting something to the future, with this kind of the message is strong, where dollars want, but also this kind of graphics, this imagery is like that is designed by Dune and Star Wars artist Matt Griffin. It's like showing how using crypto can be in 100 years. That is the mission of Gemini. That is like not staying here just for 1 year, 10 years. It's like staying here for 100 years. And I think that's showing the future, but realizing that also the present can be important to address this, and inviting customers to become pioneers from now is the key.
Absolutely. Claudio, thank you so much for joining me today. If the listeners want to go and connect with you and find out more about Gemini, where can they do that?
Super. Thank you for having me here, and see you.
We'll put all the links in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today. To our listeners, peace, love, and prosperity.
Signals breaking free, moving through the crowd. the glow of the ledger, a new age grows, unseen, unstoppable, the current flows. Boom, 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 the signal's breaking free, moving through the cracks where the dollar dares not be. Boom, 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 a rhythm loud and clean. Crypto's writing futures far beyond the green. Beyond the green, where the fearless dream, a pulse in the dark, a relentless stream. Boom, 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 the signal's breaking free, moving through the cracks where the dollar dares not be. Boom, 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 a rhythm loud and clean. Crypto's writing futures far beyond the green. Beyond the green, where the fearless dream, a pulse in the dark, a relentless stream.